Welcome to Crafty Wafty!
Hi everybody, Debbie here from Crafty Wafty, and today I'm going to show you how to make this super cool card for your dad for Father's Day, or it could be for your dad for his birthday maybe. But anyway, so here it is. It says, "You're super cool, Dad." It's got my little chef with his little soup bowl and his ladle and a lovely little apron with all the extra little utensils and stuff in there. So this is what I'm going to show you how to make this today. So the things I've used to create the card is the stamp set, which is my favourite things. And this is where it's got all the little chefs on it and the sentiments, which I absolutely love. And this is called Recipe for Happiness. And what I did was I stamped up my chefs. Although I've only used one, but you've got all the different ones, and I've just coloured them in. So you can see there he is. He's sort of going mwah, as if to say it's perfecto. And then we've got ones where he's mixing, and here's the other one where there he's mixing, and then obviously one with the soup, and that's the one that I've used, but I've used the one in the red for my card. And then you've got some really lovely sentiments here. So like, you are the one of the ingredients in my recipe for happiness. But the one I used is "You're super cool," because I wanted to link in with the soup ladle. So that works really well. But you've got all these other little pots and pans and whisks and things like that. So what you can do is obviously stamp them out and cut them out and use them as well. But I've actually got a die set which has got the apron on it, which has got the fish slice, you've got the whisk, a couple of spoons, there's little measuring spoons, rolling pin. So they're the ones that I use. I just cut them out with my die set. Now what I normally do, just as a little tip, let me just flip that over so I can show you on the black background, is that I always cut out all the little bits in white like this. So here we are, here's my rolling pin, whoops, there we go, my rolling pin, and here's my little whisk. And then what I normally do is I just use some of my Spectrum Noir pens just to colour them into whatever colours I want, just to give them that little bit of definition of that as well. So that's what I do with that. So there are all those bits. Let's move them just over to one side. I just wanted to show you those. And then this is the base of my card. So here we are, nice clean white card here. And I've just cut some contrasting paper in the same sort of color range. And I wanted this to look a bit like wallpaper, I suppose. And then obviously we've got the strip in the middle and then a plain bit at the bottom. And then here is my apron. So I just want to talk through what I did with the apron. So let's just move that over there for the minute. So with the apron, as you can see here, the apron I've got, the die I've got, gives me some little slots, which is really handy because then I can just tuck in all of those utensils that I've coloured, and then I just sort of tape them on the back there. And then I've just put a little bit of ribbon I've just sort of threaded through so it looks like the ties for that. So that's what I've done for the apron. And then this is the little pocket, and I've just got tucked in, so that will go on there. And then obviously I've got the measuring spoons sort of looking like they've just been tucked into the top of the pocket, so that will sort of sit on there like so. And then I've selected the "You're super cool," just mounted that on a bit of white card where I've stamped it, and then just a little bit of the green, which I'm linking in with the green paper that I've used on the main card, so it all ties in nicely. And then there's my little chef, and as you can see I've cut him out. That was a little bit trickier, but I've gone right to the lines, but you don't have to. You can leave a little white edge if you want to around that. And then I've got my little salt and pepper shakers that I've done as well. And then I was trying to look for some lettering to go on to spell dad, and actually what I've used is, these were originally white letters and I've just gone over them with some distress ink. I think I use a Mowed Lawn is the green colour for that, which is quite nice because I've just gone over the top so it gives a nice green, but you also get that nice white edge around the outside as well. So that's how I've sort of made all the elements for my card. And then what I'm going to do is just show you how I put it all together. So the next stage is really, once you've got all your elements created, is to work out where you're going to put it all on your card. And you know, I do have a little play with this because you know, when I look at it, I think, well, is it quite balanced, the card? Does it look okay? Does it look too crowded? Sometimes, you know, just having a few items on is just enough, but I just want to sort of try something. So I'm just going to pop the apron on there, and I'm going to put that at a little jaunty angle because I think that looks quite cute. I've got my You're Super Cool, so I might tuck that in at the top there for the moment, but just leaving enough room for the head of the you know, the ribbon coming up at the top there. Now Dad I've got, so I could put Dad down there maybe. Let's have a little think. Might pop my little chef there. Obviously that will go in on my apron in the middle there, and I've got my little salt and pepper pots. But just looking at that, I think actually the green against that dark green doesn't pop out enough. So what I might do, and this, I've got a bit of a space here, so what I might do is move that up there. Now that looks quite nice, and actually the green on that Dad is going to pop out against the white and green stripy background. I think I'll move my little chef down here, and actually when I come to stick him, I think I might just stick him overlapping that apron a little bit. Now on my salt and pepper shakers, what I've done is I've left one completely flat and one with some 3D, so it gives a bit of dimension to the card, so you can see in the background that it looks like one is further away than the other, so they'll probably sort of overlap like that. So I quite like the look of that. Now I've got quite a lot of red down here because I've got the red on my chef, got the red on some of the utensils, so I've actually got a little fish slice here. So what I might do is when I come to stick Dad on, I might just have that sort of tucked in underneath like so. So it just brings that colour back up. So just looking at that, I'm quite happy with that actually. And I think what I'll probably do is stick that down as it is. So the main part of this is the apron, so I need to get the apron on first because then I can move everything around just to tuck into that. So let's just take off my little pockets, just take off my little chef and that. Now as you can see, what I've done already, I've already got some foam pads on the back here, so let's just peel this off so we can start to build the card up. And it's up to you, you don't have to use foam pads, you could just stick the apron flat against the card, but I just want to give it a little bit of depth, so let's just peel those off. Now as you can see, I've already left the Super Cool and the Dad up there, so it just gives me a rough guide as to where we're going to do that. And here we go. This is where I always hold my breath because I think once I've stuck it, that's it, can't do much more with it after that. So let's just move that down, and hey presto, there we go. All right, so that's stuck in place now. Now I've got that in place, I can use put on my little thing. Let's just get a little pair of tweezers just to take off these tiny little pad. That's it. It's always handy as well to have different size foam pads, because depending on what might be easier just to do it with my nails. Actually that's not working, let's just take it off with, there we go, a little pokey tool, that'll work. So yeah, it's always good to have a selection of different size pads depending on what you're sticking down. It's been a little bit tricky today. Come on, off you come. There we go. Right, okay, so we're just going to stick, did that one come off? Yeah, it's tacky. Right, okay, so I'm just going to put it here now. Just looking at this, because obviously this is a pattern on the apron, it's check. I just want to make sure that I get it lined up in a straight, let's just turn that round. Yeah, that's straight, and I sort of got it central on there, so that works really well. Lovely. All right, and then down here I've got my little salt shakers, so let's get my favorite as always, my little bit of pin flare bookbinding glue. It's one of my favorite products I like to use, but it does stick quickly, so it's not very forgiving if you stick it in the wrong place. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in like so. Here we are, I've got a couple more little foam pads on the back of there, and we're just going to, so I'm just going to have that overlapping. I'm just going to bring that down a bit so it looks staggered. Okay, let's just move those little bits out of the way. All right, so our next part is to do the chef. Let's do the chef. So he's going to come in just down the bottom there. So I just want him sort of coming over that corner of the apron. So as you can see here, I've used different size pads again. Got slightly smaller ones in some of the tiny parts of him, and then the big one down for the middle. So let's just move those off. So I'm just doing all the little fiddly ones first, and now I can peel off this. Let's tuck that out of the way for the minute. Okay, all right, and I'm just going to stand him there. Let's just see, so he's just overlapping like so. Okay, and his feet are nice and straight against the card, so that's good. Let's just pop the glue back on there for a minute, lid on there rather. Right, okay, so now I'm coming around to the next bit. So the super cool. So I would like just a little bit of the edge of the paper around the back showing. So I'm going to stick that one on next, because my letters for the dad I can move around a little bit when I come to stick that on. So we're just going to peel these off. Here we go. I do love these foam pads with those little overlap ones, make it so much easier. Right, okay, I'm just going to line that in. Just have a little look at that. Is that straight? Not quite. It's just, at least foam pads are a little bit more forgiving if you need to move them around a bit. Okay, so there we are. That's your super cool bit done. And then I've got a little fish slice and dad. So I'm just trying to think, I don't know whether to have this tucked in or coming across, or maybe just come down to the side. So let's have a little think about that. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with, so let's pop the A on first. So I always go with the middle letters to get centered in how I want that, and then I can work out these and the gap, and actually having the stripy lines sort of helps me with a bit of line alignment for these. Okay, and the dad, so we're sort of almost, it's a little bit tricky because obviously with the shape of the D it overlaps a little bit more, but I think that is just about right there. Okay, and then I've got the dad. So what I might do is, I'm not sure whether to have that tucking up, or I might tuck that in there. Let's have a little look. See, now I've stuck it down, I'm not sure that I want that on there or not now. Or if I was to tuck that so it looks like it's coming across, but then you can't see the dad either. Do you know what? I'm going to leave that as it is. I think that's enough. I think if I put that on there, that's just going to be too much. Right, okay. So there we have it, your super cool dad card. So you can use this for Father's Day, or it could be a birthday card. Thanks for watching, and come back soon to Crafty Wafty.
So let's get crafty wafty.